Our top focus is suicides, and not just any. It's about students whose number of suicides is outnumbering even farmers. Alarmed by the spike in student suicides across India's premier educational institutions, the Supreme Court of India today took a historic step, constituting a high-powered national task force to address this crisis. The court's shocking observation: student suicides have now surpassed farmer suicides in numbers. The big question is, why? This special report digs deeper into the crisis, the court's intervention, and what happens next. The court's decision was prompted by the tragic deaths of two students from marginalized communities at IIT Delhi, whose parents alleged caste discrimination and demanded justice. The court has ordered FIRs to be registered and investigations to be conducted into these cases. Now, the 10-member task force led by former Supreme Court Judge Justice S Ravindra Bhat includes experts from diverse fields. Their mandate is to identify the causes of student suicides, including ragging, caste and gender discrimination, academic pressure, and mental health stigma. According to the National Crime Records Bureau, over 13,000 students took their lives in the year 2021, a number that has doubled in a decade. The court noted that student suicides now exceed those related to agrarian distress, and the task force is set to analyze the existing laws and regulations, propose reforms, and suggest measures to prevent such tragedies. They will also conduct surprise inspections of educational institutions to ensure compliance. The court emphasized that educational institutions must prioritize students' mental well-being alongside academic excellence. The task force is expected to submit an interim report within 4 months and a final report within 8 months. From IITs to law schools, India's future, its students are crumbling under unbearable pressure. And today the Supreme Court of India has sent a clear message. Enough is enough. But will this task force be the lifeline that students need, or will it be just another report gathering dust? The clock starts ticking now. We have Dr. C.B. Sharma, educationist and professor of education at IGNOU, joining us. We also have Dr. Ananya Mahapatra, consultant psychiatrist, Max Super Specialty Hospital, also joining us. Thank you both of you for taking time out to be with us here on News9. Dr. C.B. Sharma, as an educationist and a professor of education, the question I'm asking is that what has changed, when it comes to the pressure on students in India, especially at the graduation and post-graduation levels?
I believe the pressure has definitely increased because of the increasing numbers who aspire to get into higher education, and the number of institutions and the seats which should have increased has not increased. So the number remains constant, but the aspirants have increased. But that is one issue. The other issue is that institutions are not aware and not awoken to the demand of hostel. I'm not looking at the institution and their demand and other things that we need to look at as institution, but hostel and providing residential facilities is an entirely different ballgame, which we have never looked into. Because we don't consider hostel and accommodation as part of the educational process. We have not. Look at the global experiences. If you look at how United Kingdom institutions manage hostels, they have a proper protocol to identify hostel, to maintain discipline and also behavior. As you get into a hostel or a student accommodation, you are first provided a counseling, how you have to behave, how you have to live, what are the protocols, and they are very strictly followed. We don't have any such thing. Anybody is made the warden of a hostel who needs accommodation, and there is accommodation for the hostel warden. That's the truth. One has absolutely no experience of managing hostels. So student accommodation is important. Let me ask you a question. The National Education Policy 2020 recommended that there should be hostels created through the PPP, public-private partnership, We had the policy 5 years back. Have we worked on it? No, because that's not a priority. And I believe I've looked at the committee that constituted by the Supreme Court. I must compliment the Supreme Court for a
Right.
change. It has people from all different walks of life, including academic and who understand. Although nobody is there who has been managing hostel or who is in charge of a hostel, but that's a different thing. What I believe is most important is in education, most of the decisions are political rather than academic. You don't leave things to academics and the institution. The decisions are political, which makes things very difficult for academic institutions and especially managing hostels.